some confusion happened, and Savita ma'am had to send me the recording. Okay, so we'll start. I'll launch Dynamo and we'll see. Hi Savita ma'am, hi Manjula ma'am, Neha has joined. So we go to pyramid. Yes, we have to get it. I'll show you all how to do the aligning the circle to the face of the pyramid. Okay, so this is what we had last time, right? Okay, and now if you wanted to draw the circle, as I showed you last time, we needed to get the circle. Now,
you're sending a screen.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay. Now visible.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, this is what we had, and if we want to kind of create that circle, what do we need to do? We need to kind of, I'll just use the circle. There are two circle options, right? One is circle by center point radius, and the other was circle by center point radius normal. Okay. So now what did we do? I mean, here, these are the center points of the pyramid. So these points, if I had, sorry, I'm not. If I just taken these points and plugged it into this, we would have got circles at the vertices. Okay. Likewise, you could have got circles in any position, and by default here, the normal is basically, if we look into this, is it visible? The normal by default is 0, 0, 1. So what is 0, 0, 1? 0, 0, 1 is effectively the
height of the pyramid. The point tip of the pyramid.
Sorry?
The tip of the pyramid?
No. Okay, 1 minute. Let me just now you see here vector, it says vector x is 0, y is 0, z is 0.
That is 1.
Sorry, z is 1. So, and this is the direction. This is vector only indicates the direction. It's got nothing to do with a position.
Okay.
Okay. So what does this direction mean?
That's
If it's 0, 0, 1, which direction is it indicating?
Z.
Not
Z.
origin. Z axis.
Yeah.
Z axis.
Okay. So basically, what now if which vector would indicate the direction? Would indicate the x-axis. What would the x, y, and z of that vector be if it's indicating the x-axis?
1, 0, 0.
Correct. Okay.
1, 0.
So now any of these vectors which have 0, 0, and 1 basically as the value is called a unit vector. Okay. A unit vector is something that has a magnitude of 1 and usually indicates only the direction with respect to the origin. Okay. All of these vectors 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, and things like that. All of them are with respect to the origin. So basically, it's you assume that that you have the start point as 0, 0, 0, and you have the second point at this number. Okay. So that is what you assume. I mean, to get the direction of the vector. Now here, what you'll also see is this vector has a length of 1. Okay, so that is why I said it's called a unit vector. Now this is important when we start trying to get specified directions in other places also. I'll get to that a little later. Okay, I'll just get, in fact, I'll try to introduce that while we are talking about this. If I forget, just let me know. Just remind me. Now, what do we do now if we want to get the circles on the faces of these pyramids? First, we need to get the points at the centers of these faces, right? So to get the points, we go back to this because this is where we got all the surfaces, right? So first we'll go to point at parameter. Okay, we go to this surface option. And we click surface, and automatically it takes 0, 0 as the value, and it's giving us some point at parameter 0, 0. Here we'll say 0.5. We want 0.5, 0.5, so I'll just type 0.5 once and we'll do this. Okay, so we got this at some point, which now the problem with these
that
sorry?
UNV shows like that UNV is what basically the normal like 0.5. It's like that difference from that phase, right?
No, basically what Dynamo does is it assumes that this is enclosed within a rectangle.
Okay.
And it kind of within that bounding box, it picks the center and gives you.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
This is actually not perfect. This is not how it should be working. I mean, it should be giving us the center of the surface, but this is how this software seems to work.
If that center point of the pyramid is like tilted somewhat towards in a y direction or something, this 0.5 will work.
It will still work. It will still work, but like now, if you want this to be a little lower, let's try to work on how do we get it lower or something. Like say, I'm not sure if it's the U or V, but okay, not. So if I push the U to 0.3 or something, it's going a little lower. But look, it's varying between this and this. For this is the U, and it's changing. It's something else. For all these pyramids, seems like it has to be the U that has to change, the V that has to change. For these pyramids, it's the V that needs to change if you want to lower the point.
Yes.
Making sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how do we handle that? I mean, I'll do one thing. I'll make that an exercise for you. See if I can figure that out. Okay, but for now, we'll keep it at 0.5, 0.5. Now, if we use these points and we go back to that circle here and we put the circle here, we're just going to get the circles. Oops, not radius, center point. Now, what happened is just that it created the circles at the midpoints, right? And
Yes.
let's reduce the size of the circles and make them a little smaller. So now the question is, how do we change the orientation? So just as we got this pointed parameter at each surface, we need, if we want to change the orientation of the circle, that means we need to change its normal, right? So what do we need to do? We need to get the normal at this parameter of the surface. So we'll say normal at parameter. Okay. The same parameter, we can put that here, and this is the same surface we can put in there. And now we would have got a list of normals. Now, what would be important for us to note is that these normals, the list structure of the normals and the list structure of the points will match. You will have the same kind of grouping. That is why in this case it will work.
Yeah.
If they do not match, they will not work. Okay. So now what we will do is we will use this other node here. Now we've got center points and we have normal. And then the radius, let's reduce the radius. And we'll get rid of this. So now we'll see that you've got all the circles aligned.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this kind of solves the first question. I suppose that I think 2 or 3 of you all have asked me about this. Do you all think I should be able to do this now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. What's the next doubt?
How to chop the tip of the pyramid?
Chop the tip of the pyramid. Why would you want to do that, Jacob?
To like,
Okay, how would you do it? Give me 2 ways of doing that.
so one thing is that instead of that poly curve, we should try something that should get that individual lines, and we need to get that pointed parameter and connect, group all those points, then group all those lines, then create a surface.
Shall
And I
we,
think,
shall we try to do that now?
yeah, sure, sure.
Hmm?
I think,
Shall we just try to do that? Do what Jacob just asked? Can you give me suggestions as to how we can do this?
so like
Rajesh?
after, do we need to split that surface we have right now?
No, we can do this in 2 ways. One is we either, I want to actually not try to split it. I want you to have a little more control over this. I mean, we can quite easily, okay, first the easy way. Okay, let's just chop it. Okay, now how do we chop this whole thing? I will get rid of the circles and all that.
Sir, one doubt.
Yeah. Hmm. What doubt?
How do we intersect that circle and that face to create a hole?
Okay, basically similar things. Now since we've got this here, okay, since we've got the circles here, what we can do is we can say extrude at solid, okay, or instead of extrude as solid, I will, if we use extrude as solid, we'll need to specify the direction and distance. Okay, so instead I'm going to say patch. Okay, I'll say patch and create one circle within that circle. Okay, it creates a surface of this, and then I will thicken this thing to create a solid. This is a way of creating a solid without what's
So that
specifying the
thickness will
direction.
automatically go for both the sides.
Yes. Otherwise, there may be a little. So I've created something that projects on both sides.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what do we need to know? Do we need to trim this surface from this? Okay. I'm not sure whether this is going to work the way I want it to, but let's see. So let's say there is something called trim. Should I use this one? There should be another thing. Let me just see if this works. So now here trim, we want to trim. Where's the surface? These are your surfaces, right? So these are your surfaces. Trim is not going to work. Wait, because then trim means I need to also specify a pick point. So let's look for something.
Like remove that surfaces.
Sorry.
Split the existing geometry and then delete all that splitted portion.
Uh,
Is there any option? I don't.
there's also this thing called trim with edge loops, but that's even more complicated. Wait, this trim could work, but I'm just trying to look for easier ways. Okay, we'll probably have to end up using trim only. So I'll use trim. Only thing is we'll also have to, once I specify this portion, I will also have to specify which portion of these of this of each of these surfaces I want to retain. Okay, so basically it says removes elements of the entity closest to the pick point. So pick point. 1 minute. Sorry. Okay, so now if you want to think what retain as the surface now, which is the pick point, it's going to delete the point that is closest, create the portion of the surface that's closest to the point. So what is the point that's closest? The center only, no, that point that we had picked earlier.
Yes.
Okay, where's the center point now? This is that center point.
Yeah.
So we click on that. So it's done something, but nothing is visible, right?
Yes.
That is because we've still got all of this stuff still there. So we have to switch off the preview of all of this. So here you got your holes.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
There can be multiple ways to do this. This is one of the ways. Okay.
Yeah.
You can explore this if you really want. But now the other thing that you talked about also, I mean, like, what I'll do is now with the same trim option and with the same thing that I just showed you, can you figure out how to kind of get rid of the tip of the pyramid?
Yes, we can like create a plane, then
Exactly.
create a Boolean difference. It will make.
You click the plane and then pick a point, pick the apex, and it will trim the top part of that.
Yeah.
So you want to do it?
Yep.
Let's say plane by origin normal.
So without that Boolean difference option, there is no option to like create that plane automatically while creating that split.
Create the plane automatically by creating the split. I didn't understand.
While we are doing that Boolean split, right?
Hmm.
That plane comes automatically, right? After that split, that trim. That entire surface get closed, kind of cap holes. How we are doing. So, is there any other way other than the Boolean difference? I'm asking.
To do what? I didn't understand the question.
So right now, how we are going to approach this is we create a plane, and we kind of move it towards how much of a different distance we want towards that pyramid, and we create a Boolean difference, and that entire area gets filled, right?
No. Basically, what will happen now is whatever we've done here, the same thing is just going to, let's say, we've instead of creating this chop like this, what we will do is we will not create this thickness and all that. So you got those things here. Okay, so now from that, the plane, basically we can create the plane. We can take these points. Okay, and the normal will remain maybe the z-axis, and this we will translate. I'll say I'll translate by whatever. I'll say -2 for now. Okay, so we've got those planes at -2. So now what we do is we probably go to this. Geometry remains the surface. We go here, and now I've said pick. Okay, the pick I've what have we picked? We picked the center point of all these points. What will happen now? It's not done anything. What have I done? This is the geometry.
Probably the plane is not touching the pyramid.
Huh?
The plane is not touching the pyramid. It's -2.
Right, but no, but then, oh yeah, oh, I've gone below the thing. What was the height we kept? Oh, we kept the height as 2. So yeah, basically it's gone below the thing. So I should say -0.5. So now see, we've got only the tips of the pyramid. So what should I have done? I mean, the pick point should have been something else, right?
Yes.
So the pick point could have been what, maybe the base of the pyramid or something like that, or we could have looked at that pointed parameter that we had got earlier, which was the midpoint. No, that's what I've used. No. So we need to pick the apex basically. This point if we pick, then we will get a truncated pyramid.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Basically,
So
Sorry.
here that I was asking, like, how do we automatically fill that holes, that gap hole kind of thing? How do you automatically fill that?
You can't automatically fill it. If I wanted to automatically fill it, instead of creating a surface, I would have created a solid and then
Yes.
extracted the surfaces of that solid.
Okay. What does solid difference will do? Like, will make
Similar.
it.
Solid difference is probably a little more effective when you're working with. It wouldn't give you surfaces like this. It will give you all the faces. I mean, it will give you a closed solids
Okay. Yes.
for
So
everything.
why did we do translate there actually for when you created the plane?
Sorry.
Why
What's the
did we
question?
use translate when we created the plane?
Because we wanted the plane to come a little bit, because that's the cutting plane, no, Sneha. We want to cut it at this place, so I translated it 0.5 below the peak, so that it's cut off the peak 0.5 units below the top.
So it became like from rows to column it got translated like
No, 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 no. You're confusing translate with transpose.
that. Okay. Oh yeah.
Transpose is a different concept. We are not using that. Translate means move.
Okay. Geometry translate. Okay.
Yeah. No, translate means move. Transpose is something else. And then there is transform. There are three different concepts altogether.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Translate and
basically,
transform are similar. Transpose is different altogether.
Sir, what is the difference between transform and translate?
Transform, basically you transform geometry from one coordinate system to another coordinate system. So basically even the direction changes, can change.
so it depends on the direction of X, Y, Z axis or
Yes.
Even translate
Transform.
works similar, right? Even
Huh?
translate works similar, right?
Translate does not work similar. Translate, you can move things in the XYZ direction, but the orientation will always be the same.
Okay, okay. So additional function in a transform will be we can rotate it.
Yes, you can
It's
rotate
additional.
things.
It is
I
additional
mean,
function.
based on it, yes, based on a coordinate system. Basically, like say, if I've got this on one plane, for example, I'll just quickly try to show you guys what we're talking about. Or no, we'll go in one sequence. Or fine, I'll just. But today I'll have a class in another half an hour, so we'll have to kind of wrap this up quickly.
so we don't have class today.
We don't have
only,
class.
You have. Cynthia told me
no,
you
we
have
are
class.
only on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Cynthia told me she has class today.
No,
She
she doesn't.
texted us only on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Are you sure? She told me she's
Yes.
got class this morning.
No.
She said we have dynamo class.
Seriously? Okay. I'll check with her once, huh? Just a minute.
So I'm offended that you don't trust us.
I'll also have to trust your teacher, madam. Because the thing had a class with her, with the BARC students with her till about 1 o'clock or something. So that time she said, okay, she has a class at 4. Okay, fine. So what was I going to show you guys?
So wait, translate means basically you're decreasing the scale of the geometry, is it, in X, Y, Z axis?
In translate, you do not decrease the scale of the geometry at all.
Then how did it become smaller?
What became smaller?
Like you chopped it off, right?
Correct.
No,
So we
that is
didn't
the plane
translate, just means move,
moving from
nothing else.
But what was moved here? It's chopped. Like
Yeah, but what was moved? You tell me.
the points, the center point. No, that is
What was moved here, Shannon?
the plane.
Exactly. And then what was that move plane used? What did we use the move plane for?
To chop it off, like you had to chop
Exactly.
it.
So we just moved the plane and chopped the top off.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so that's all we've done. Okay, now let's. I don't know whether it's going to be easy for me to show you all what how this works. I'll just close this file. Okay, without saving. I don't think this needs saving, right? I think you guys should have an idea, should be able to repeat this quite easily. Or to save it, no. Now I'll just start with a new project, new file, and I'll first just create a rectangle. By width height. Okay, but did I tell you that Cynthia confirmed that there's no class?
No.
Okay, she did.
No.
Okay, she just did. Okay, now here I'll say this is say 20. Okay, and I'll say patch. Okay. Now what I'll do here is on this I'll look for pointed parameter. So we look at surface and we'll say I'll say from 0 dot dot 1 dot dot I'll say number 4. So let's say we got 4 points we're just getting. Okay, so we just simply got something like this. Now, likewise, what I'll do is I'll also create. Oh no, okay. Here, what I'll do is I will now create. We'll create the circles again. Center point radius, and what I'll do is here again I'll patch it. Or no, here I'll just extrude as solid. Extrude as solid, and I'll just leave it at whatever it's got. Okay, so it just creates little things like this. Now what I'll do is I will what I'm doing the whole purpose of this thing is to show you what's the difference between translate and transform. Okay, so I'm going to try to transform something. Now what I'll do is I'll just create one dummy surface, a curved surface or something like that. So I'll just create two curves. So how shall we create a curve? I'll say first we'll create 3 points. We'll start from -5, 3, Don't bother too much with what I'm doing here. It's just a demo. You can probably figure out how to do this. So I'm creating just 2 points basically. I'll maybe make this. Okay, so I've created one curved surface and I've got this surface. Okay. Now what I'll do is, now we've got, let's get the coordinate systems of each of these. Okay, so let's say coordinate system at parameter. Let's say coordinate system at parameter, and of this surface, first this surface that we created, I'll get this here, and the parameter is what? Parameters are this and this. Why is it? Oops, sorry. Coordinate system at parameter, we should have got a similar list as what we've got for each of these things. The list structure will be the same. Okay. Similarly, we'll get the coordinate system at parameter for these, for this surface. Okay, so the same thing is actually created here also, but it's not visible because we've got these things here. So otherwise, this indicates the coordinate system. Now, what do we want to do? Now we want to, let's say, transform, okay, from coordinate system to coordinate system. Okay, so we'll go here, and the solids, each of these solids, we want to transform them from this coordinate system, that is their existing coordinate system, to this coordinate system. You see what happened now? And like this, basically, you can shift things to different geometries. Here, this, if I alter this geometry, say this curve, if I make the surface something else, no matter what happens here, I mean, this, these things are transformed from this plane to this plane, to the plane of this surface. Okay, so that is how transform works. It is not something that you guys need to do right now, but if you have grasped what I've just done, you will realize that the patterns that you have been creating, you can adapt that to any surface. Okay, basically you can create a pattern on a plane basically, and then apply that pattern to any kind of curved surface or undulating surface, and it will adapt to that. Okay, so that is where this transform will be very useful for you. Okay, got where this is applied, right?
So what about that point by coordinate? What does that indicate? Minus 2 and
Sorry, what does this block? No, okay, I'll talk about, see, this I used it to only create the surface. Okay, I'll talk about this is the geometry creation bit. I'll talk about it a little later. Did you guys understand everything else?
Yeah,
You understood how transform works, right?
that we understood, sir.
Okay, this transform is what it is. Okay, now I think I'll just quickly address this thing because this is what. Did you want to know how to create a surface like this, or what is it? I mean, is that what you're really keen on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think you've always wanted to do stuff like this, and I've always been saying that it's easy, but I haven't shown you how to do it. So I'll just quickly show you how to do it. Okay. Now let's say we don't want. This is like we're going to create geometry out of by specifying some absolute dimensions. Basically, we're not. Again, there's nothing data driven or anything about this. This is just about geometry creation. Okay, so something like this. Now I will not do it. Should I save this? Okay, let this be as it is. File save as. I'll just leave this as it is. I'll just create one more file for you. Okay, Sneha, I'll probably just explain this right here, and then I'll try to explain something a little more complex in a separate file. Now here, all I've done is, what do you think? I'll switch this off. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll create a curve first. Okay, so now how do we create a curve? I mean, like if you go to this geometry option here and you look at curves, okay, there are different kinds of curves that you can create. Even a line is typically is actually a curve. It's just that it does not have. It's a straight line from one point to the other. Okay. So now the simple curves that you already know about are like the arcs and things like that. Okay. You explored this later. I will just show you what I did right now, just now. Okay, which is what I created a NURBS curve by points, which we've done earlier too. Okay, NURBS curve by points. 1 minute. Yes, dear. Yes, ma'am. Okay, fine. You can join class if you want. No, you just go to the application of, just click the thing. No, generate link. Just click on that. Just click on the link. And it's there on the classroom dashboard. Yeah. Okay. So you see that we've got this NURBS curve by point. And
Yes.
now what have I done next? I've created two sets of 3 points each, which is effectively what I've done there. So I'll do exactly what is there in the code block there with nodes. Okay, so I'll say point.
Is that start, middle, and end points, like those 3 points, minus 15, 2, and 16?
Yes, I mean it's like 3 points. It's not start, middle, and end. There's one start point, there's an end point. The third point doesn't necessarily need to be the midpoint. And we can have multiple points with a NURBS curve.
Okay.
Okay, we don't have to have 3, but 3 is a minimum for a NURBS curve, but you can have 100 also if you want. Okay. And you get an undulating curve. Okay, so now let's say NURBS curve by coordinates. Now here, what have I done? I'm not going to create 6. Okay, let me create 6. Okay, these are the first 3 points. The first 3 points that I have here are minus 15. The other point that I've got is 10. And the other point I've got is 0. Okay. So this is the first point that I had created in that code block. The next point that I created was 2, 10, 0. So the only other number is 2 here. So next I created 2, 10, 0. Yeah. Something wrong with what I'm saying.
19.
Huh?
2, 2, 10, 19.
What? Yeah, 2, 10, 19. Correct. Here's that second point that we got there. Okay.
Hmm.
The next one that I created was 16, 10, 0.
Hmm.
16, 10, 0. Okay. So you got that. I've got 3 points. And then what did I do? These three, I created a list out of it. Those boxes that I created, those box brackets, effectively I put them into a list. So that is let's create.
Yeah.
3 items. 1, 2, 3. And then what did I do? I created a nerves by points.
Hmm.
Okay. So we created one curve like this. Then what did I do? I created one more curve. Now we can repeat this whole thing again and change those points to whatever it was. Again, minus 15, 45, 0.
0.
Then 2, 45, 6.
Sir,
Hmm.
what are we doing now? Understand?
We are creating geometry, Jacob. Okay. Now,
Okay.
we are trying to create the same thing that we did here with this.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, you'll have to be tolerant. This is not fair.
No, like I was like I lost in
Now,
between. Like,
now, Jacob, tell me, how do I create one more curve from here to here? This
so
time I'll
you
do it
want
in a. I'll create it in a code block this time.
yeah.
I'm saying nerves curve dot by points.
So we are trying to create that surface now.
Yes.
That curve. So draw one line and why can't we sweep using
I
that?
don't want to draw a line. I want to draw one more curve here. Let's say I want to draw one more curve here. So give me the coordinate for that.
Nerves by
Referring to what we have already done.
45. Instead of 45, we can reduce it to 25 or something.
Okay. No, first, now from this list of points that we've got here.
no.
Okay. Now, say I want this point and this point. What's the best way to do that? Say I want it to always be tied to this.
Get item.
No. Now this is this curve, right? So
Yeah.
look for the start point of this curve.
Okay, start. Okay.
So you've got the start point. Now let's look for the start point of the next curve also. So you got start point here, start point here. Okay, we got 2 start points.
So
Now
like
let's
how
create one.
direction of that coordinates is on the same direction. What if that coordinates are reversed? That list.
Then you take the end point.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's create one more point. Okay, now let's say we just want to create one point somewhere in between. Okay, so now what would the coordinates of that point be? Approximately. What should the coordinates of this point be? X will be what? X will make it what? Minus 10. Y minus, sorry. Maybe what's the Y that I created earlier? Okay, say 5. And Z will say is about 4. X, Y. Okay, so it's created some point somewhere. Where is it created? Bad. Minus 10 is a bad idea. Oh no, the y is a bad idea.
Why is 45 there? So
Yeah, so
Sir.
we'll make it. Yes, sir.
25.
Huh?
I kind of lost the conversation before this. Like, what are we trying to? Like, I didn't understand.
I am just trying to create the same surface that we created here.
Okay.
Basically, Sneha wants to know how to create geometry.
Okay.
Okay, so now
Yes.
how do we create geometry?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so we're just trying to create geometry in a slightly different way. So we're just doing something a little more than what we did here. Okay, so now
Okay.
say we've created 2 curves, now we're doing it with nodes. Okay, so now let's say we want to create one more curve. Now let's say, what is this curve going to be? Here now, how do we create the list of points? The same thing we do here. This will be our start point, this will be our midpoint, and this will be our end point. And then again we say, here we created a curve like this. Okay. Now let's create one more curve. Or no, let's stop at this. Let's do what Jacob just asked. Now we'll say we'll create a loft by cross sections and guide curves. Okay. Now this is our guide curve, and which is our cross section. Which are our cross sections?
List.
That, yeah.
This curve and this curve. Okay, so we got 2 curves there. Done. So you see how we created a surface. Now, what you can also do is you can create one more curve here. And then if we do that, we'll do something else. Let's look for endpoints now of the curves. Two endpoints here and here. And this time I will probably just create x and y. X should be how much? Let's say 20. And again, I will create this list of points. I will create this. Okay, so now I got 3 points. I don't know where the point is though. What am I doing? Okay, it seems like this point. Let's make it about, say, so now let's just create this other NURBS curve. Now we've got, let's say we've got 4 points, 4 curves. We've got these, let's say 3 and 4. So first is this curve. Oops. First is this curve. Next is this curve. Next is this curve, and the last is this curve. And say we want this to just create, we want to create a surface that spans these. What will you use? We've already used it earlier. The last 2 classes we've used. What have we used? What node have we used to create a surface that bounds with the boundary specified?
Surface.
Surface
Patch.
what? Correct. So now we say patch. Oh no, patch needs a thing. What? Closed curve. So we can say polycurve by joint curves and then patch. Okay. So this is how you can create a surface. Now the same surface, now you can thicken it to create a solid. Some surfaces won't work though. I mean, if it's not something that can be thickened, it won't thicken. But in this case, it seems to have the created thing. So you've got your whatever shell structure or whatever you want. Okay.
Yes, sir. So
So
can
this
we
satis-
use this for any kind of surface, or it should be closed surface only?
this is not a closed surface. This is an open surface, no?
I mean, the arcs are joined here. If the arcs are not joined together, then can we use it?
Yeah, I showed you how. No, we started off with that, no, Sneha. We started with just two arcs, and we kind of thing. But if you want to get this kind of profile here, what it would have done if we didn't have, if we had just two surfaces and used a cross section, it just joins it with a straight line from here to here.
So that time we can only just use loft, right? Only when two different arcs are there.
Yeah. So basically, there are different tools available for different kinds of modeling operations.
Okay.
For in that condition, you needed to use a loft because it wasn't a closed surface, a closed loop. Okay, here it's a closed loop. You can, so it depends. You decide. You will be the boss. You will decide as to how you want to create a surface and things like that.
So what about sweep and loft? Is it two different things?
Yes, a sweep basically. I mean, a sweep.
Sir,
Yeah.
how do we sweep using two rails and one cross section in dynamo?
Sorry.
How do we sweep using two rails and one cross section in dynamo? Like basically,
Two
we have
rails
two
and
rails.
one cross section. Is it?
Yeah.
There is that thing, but fails very often. Okay. Sweep by two rails.
Okay.
So try. You'll get something.
Yeah.
I mean, you can create your path, rail, and profile. It doesn't. But careful with these things. They sometimes don't work very well. Okay, depends on the geometry and things like that. Okay, but the options are there. What was Sneha asking now? I mean, Jacob is getting adventurous.
No, I had a doubt. What is sweep and loft? Like, how is it different?
Okay. Loft basically is something that, like, say, if I create a rectangle, by width length, we'll say, okay, we've created something like that. Let's say this is 10 units, and I will also create another rectangle, which is say 1 unit by 1 unit, and I'll just translate, say about 5 units in the X, Y, and Z direction. Okay, so, or let's say minus 25 units in the X, Y, and Z direction. Basically, you got one profile here, one profile here. Now, if I create list create, need two profiles, by the way, for a loft minimum. Okay, now if I've got these two profiles in a list and I say loft, the cross section, you can either loft as a solid or a surface. It just creates this thing. It joins these lofts. Now say in this loft, now say if I create one more loft, so I create one more rectangle in between, which is say 20 units wide in one direction, and I translate this by minus 15. So we created one more rectangle somewhere, done some, this is the other profile that we've created. And I create something like this. You see how a loft basically it just spans across whatever profiles you provide. Okay, so this is you can use this in multiple ways. Now, what does a sweep do? Now, a sweep, let's say if I've got the same rectangle.
So before you go to a sweep, can I just confirm one thing?
Hmm.
So if I want to create a tensile structure, so then I use so there are 4 points, and then there's a circle on top. Then I join it with geometry translate and loft. Is it? Or no?
Yes, you could that could be one way to do that. Like say now here I've used rectangles in both, right? Now say instead of this, say we've got, is this the first rectangle I create? Let's say we've got this one rectangle here, okay, which is just great. And let me just take. We'll create a rectangle of width 20 or whatever that you got. Okay, and then you've got a circle, say. And the circle we translated by say 50. So I'm creating a circle here on top, which is about 50 units above. And then if I kind of create a loft between that rectangle and the circle, it'll kind of, it's towards that rectangle, this is right. So if I create a rectangle, a loft between the rectangle and the circle, we create something like this. Okay, which is what you're asking?
No, but this doesn't look like a tensile structure. It looks like
It doesn't look that, you have to figure out the geometry and all that. That is just because I've just done some rubbish.
Yeah, okay, but it's similar, right? I think it'll work better with the nerves curve.
Yes. Okay. So anyway, this I think most people are getting bored with. So there's nothing challenging in this. You guys can actually sit and explore the many tools that are available here. Okay, in the geometry section, and also I think what you all can do is what's the name of the? I mean, how many of you actually went and looked up the manual, the design script manual, and all that? Did anybody look it up?
What?
What man?
You haven't? Oops. Okay.
So
Language guide.
and
And the Dynamo guide, nobody has looked at all, is it?
no.
Wonderful, Yala. I thought I kept asking you to do it. The Dynamo Primer.
Yeah, the design I saw and I got scared actually.
Last semester,
There is nothing scary about it. Don't give me all that rubbish.
I did it last semester or before the lockdown, but not recently.
So I would suggest all of you all just go through the primer no matter what.
I saw that weaving thing that we designed kind of. There is a weave design, right? Something like weaving kind of pattern
Where?
in your website. I think.
I am not asking about my website, Jacob.
Then
I am not asking.
Dynamo Prime, official website of Dynamo.
I want you all to look at this website.
yeah,
Did you all look at this?
We did like last semester.
we need to do
Okay,
this.
now that you're actually going through this, can you all please ensure that you all go through each of these, like geometry and all that? Look at this geometry thing here yourselves. I mean, you'll get some basic introduction to basic geometry, and then maybe everything. Whatever I'm talking about here is assuming that you got already you'll actually have a rough understanding of all of this, but just go through this there in a more structured way.
Okay.
From
We can get a list also, like what we are learning here, we can apply, like we can see whether it is the same or
it will all be the same. It might be expressed in a different way. That's it.
But are they showing the notes used and everything?
Yeah, but it will all be different there, and it will mostly be just the basics, and you may not. We've gone a little ahead, so you don't get disillusioned by looking at this. But look at it, especially for the basics of like what the kind of geometry that I just showed you so far is very basic. Okay, so stuff like that you can easily pick up from here. Okay, so the basics of things like this.
So Russian dolls and all over there, we can create all that.
Sorry?
Like
No, yes, you can if you want to, and you can apply up to that.
Okay.
Okay, so look at this. Okay, now let's get back to doing something that's a little more challenging. Everybody agree?
Okay, sir.
Yes.
I like learning these simple concepts.
These are not concepts. This you can do in your free time, Shannon.
But
You
it's
can whenever you're getting bored, just sit and explore the many nodes that are available here. Just go here, go to Dynamo, go to the geometry section here, and explore each of these, every one of them, and try to see how they work.
Okay, got it.
Okay. And there's also a kind of a node reference guide and things that if you go to help here there are all these things. I mean, one is they seem to have a getting started thing also now. Go to the project website or whatever. Just check this out. Basically, if you go to these links here, you should get most of the stuff that you need to for references.
What does tessellation do?
Tessellation is more like the paneling thing that we're doing. Okay, and you'll have studied Voronoi and things like that. You can do a little bit of study on Delaunay and Voronoi and try this out. This is easy. You all will be easily able to create. So basically, those patterns that you'll have that you see all over the place, you'll easily be able to create that here.
Okay.
With random Voronoi patterns. Okay. Now let's get back to. I'm just going to call this geometry and save. Now let's get back to starting a fresh file, and I'm going to create a grid again. Okay, this time I'll create okay, so we create this. Okay, let's paste this a little better. Now, how do we distort this grid now? Say if you want to, or let's first now let's see if we can create the squares that we created. I mean, how do we group this quickly? Now, if I'm going to group these, create the base squares of the pyramid, how do we do it? Or I will not even create the squares. Let's do something else. What shall I do? Okay. I'm going to create little circles here.
Sir, what are you trying to do?
Now I want to try. I'm asking you to distort this grid. How will you distort the grid?
Distort. How? I didn't understand.
I want.
So are you saying
right now
like
it's an
randomly distribute?
Yes. No, it's an even grid with all the x and y is all the same, right? I'm not same. I mean, but it's like evenly spread. Now, say if I want to change the distances and things like that. Now, let's say in this list, I want each of these points to change. What do I do?
Change the points. Change the x-axis, y-axis, this thing.
Yeah, so we need to translate these
Put
points.
random point by coordinates, put random values, and then connect it.
Okay, wait, what I'm trying to get at is, now, do you guys see that I will reduce the number of points a little more? Okay, so now we've got just these 9 points. Okay, now if we want these 9 points, now what I will do is just look at what I'm going to do. We know we have 9 points. I'll just create numbers 1 dot dot 9. Okay, so we got 9 numbers. Now if I say translate, by direction distance, and say if I want to translate this geometry, direction we leave it at z-axis. Now distance, if we say 9, what happens? All of them move up 9 units, right? Now if I say 1:9, what do you think will happen? Want to guess? No? Okay.
Each point will be a different height.
No. Each point will not be at a different height. You see what has happened?
Gradually.
It has moved points, but it has moved each list of points. And by default, the list, the placing that it takes is the shortest. So that means it takes the first 3 numbers here, and it will move the first list by 1 unit, second list by 2 units, and third list by 3 units.
Okay.
Okay. That is because these lists are grouped like this. Now, just look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to flatten. Now, when I flatten this list structure now is similar to this, right? Now, what will happen? Nagaraj, I want to take that. Now, what do you think will happen?
Yeah, it
Each
will be like
point
this.
will increase according to the code block to the specified.
The first
Sorry,
one,
wait. Let Nagaraj answer.
first point will be according to the first list, the code block, and second point the second list, third.
Second list.
Follow a list. It will go accordingly to the numbers.
Correct. There are no lists now. It's just one block. So we've got 9 points in one list, and we've got 9 corresponding distances. So when I plug this into this, each point will be elevated to those individual distances.
Right.
So if you look at this now, each one is basically not obvious here, but each one is like this is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Now to make this a little more obvious, I'm going to just shuffle. Not obvious. Basically, here it seems like it's all kind of a little too linear. It's actually going all slanting, but it's not very clear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of randomize this. So I'll shuffle this list. Something called shuffle. We'll just shuffle this. So the points are no longer in order. Okay, so now we see that every point is at a different height. Okay. Now the same thing, I mean, I'll get back to.
So when we flattened it, the list got like the cross list kind of. Why it got like that, like shuffle?
What happened? No, there's no connection between the flatten and the shuffle.
When we flatten the list, points went crisscross, right?
Huh?
When we flatten the list, the points went crisscross.
The points, okay. No, when we flattened the list, all that happened was we kind of see earlier, what was it? It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what was happening earlier is this is the same point earlier. Okay. What was it earlier? 1. Now the value is 3. So basically it is pushed up by 3 points.
Okay.
So it's basically only the distance that it has moved that has changed.
Okay.
The position of the points x and y remains the same. If you look at this in plan, it's exactly the same.
Okay.
It's only the elevation that has changed. Okay, based on the distance that we have specified.
Okay.
And we have randomized that. Like 9, instead of coming right at the last, has come at the second point. So the second point itself has gone up by 9.
Okay.
Make sense?
Okay.
Now, what am I getting at by
Sir,
asking you to do this? Now, what I want to know is, now without flattening, okay? Now say I don't want to flatten. I want something like that. I want each point to be elevated differently from here. Now, what I need to do something to this list. Now, what do I need to do? I need to basically have this kind of list structure. If I need to kind of apply these numbers to this. So now there is an easy way to apply this for now. And this is just to educate you all about how this is relevant. Now, all I'm going to do now is I'm going to say chop. Okay. And this list, I'm going to chop it into 3. That means now what will it do? It will create sublist of 3 each. Now when I apply this to this, then you will get the same thing as that flatten. You will get each point is applied to every other point. Okay. So basically what's the learning here is the list structures have to match if you want the values to correspond to each other. Clear? Now let's try.
Where can we use this?
Sorry?
Where can we use this kind of translate? Like the points.
Sorry, I didn't get what you're saying.
sir,
Where can we use this kind of like this chop and translate? For what we can use these points?
Okay, now let me just show how the same thing can be used for your geometry itself. Okay, now let's say I'll make this 10 and 10. Okay, I'll just increase the number of points. Why is it not increased?
So list of we use only when we have a continuous number of points, like instead of us like having a sublist kind of thing, right?
Sorry.
List of we use only when we have a continuous that point.
No, there are other applications here. I've just used it for this.
sir, you have
Yeah.
shown some different 4 methods, but they are confusing. Like you have shown list chop, and you have used a list flatten, and you have used list shuffle. Like what is the effect on how it is going to affect on the individual list is like a little confusing.
Okay. What have I actually tried to demonstrate here? The list shuffle has got nothing to do with any concept. List shuffle was only to show you how to randomize the shuffling of points.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, list shuffle only randomize these points. Basically, this is for even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It just randomized the way these points were elevated. Now, okay, let me just try to see if, now say if you got this itself, and I'll say it's something called NURB surface by points. Okay, now with this is the unshuffled list of points, right? But I need to chop, sorry. So we got these two lists and we got these two lists of points. We've got one list of shuffled points and one list of unshuffled points, right? This is basically the same as what I'd shown you earlier. Now, if you want to apply geometry to this, you want to create some kind of a surface from this. This is the kind of surface that I've got from that even distribution of points. Okay? No?
Yes. Yes, sir.
But I've got something wrong. What is wrong? It's just taken, yeah, it's taken only 1, 2, and 3.
Because we have given 3 in the code block.
Yeah, but I need to shift this to this. Okay, now it's created those 9 points, whatever. Okay. See what it's created? It uses those 9 points with that even distribution. Now, this is to answer the question about the shuffle and where it can be used. Now, if it is used somewhere, if I'm using the same NURBS curve somewhere, and this is the other list of points that we created by randomizing it. Now, if I apply this to this, it creates this kind of surface. Okay. So basically, the even distribution of points usually doesn't create any interest for people. If you want to create some random stuff, randomizing things and shuffling things usually gets you something that you might find more appealing.
So that day we created the waves. Can we created?
Sorry?
The other day we created the waves. Can we like create
Yes,
something that
you can. In fact, my intention when I started this class was to actually do that. To see how to get back to Rupesh's wave and do that properly. But I think I've gone completely all over the place today.
Sir, I think Zaha did use lift shuffle to create designs.
No, she uses Maya. She uses Maya to create geometry in a very conscious way, and then afterwards, nowadays I don't know what they use, but most of the things that they used, most of the modeling was not done. Was done computationally, but not mathematically. So they did use something called, they used to use a software called Algor to kind of analyze the structure of those things and to create, what are they called? I mean, the self-supporting structures. What do you call them? What do you call these shell structures that are structurally inherently stable?
What?
The shell structures are inherently stable, basically structurally. I mean, there's a concept to describe. No, I don't recollect the term. The stuff that Fry Auto and all these guys used to do. Okay, now, what do I do next? Okay, I'm going to get to something called attractors. Okay, I think I'm going to start with Rupesh's thing only next class. Today's is gone completely. If you have any other doubts, let me know.
So I wanted to know that the surface what we have created over here
Hmm.
and the geometry of pyramid what we created, can we somehow like place it on the surface of this, like skin on this?
Yes, but in this case, it will kind of overlap. What I would rather do is, like, say, for
So
example, if you
for
got
like if there is a very intense bend, so the geometry of the pyramid also gets reduced.
geometry, yes, it will happen. And basically, now the same thing. Okay, now shall we do something like that? Okay, then let's do that. I'll just close this because this is all rubbish. Or no, or let me just copy these points at least. No, not required. We'll go back to pyramid. Okay, good. I mean, that was a good idea because now what I'll do is, now let's say we've got these pyramids. I might still be able to salvage today's class. Now here we created, now everything here is based on these points, right? Everything here is based on these points. Yeah, we're not able to switch this one. These points. So if these points change, everything here is going to change. Okay. So what we will do is, I will kind of just create one placeholder and I'll call it PNPS and connect this to this and this to this. What I'm doing is I'm just preparing myself to be able to change the input. And once I change the input, I'm expecting this geometry to change. Okay. Just as we can we flex this and things like that, everything changes. Now let's create like what Rupesh just asked. I'm going to just take these points. Somebody saying something?
So what did Rupesh say exactly? What he wanted?
He wanted that kind of, he wanted to create these pyramids on that kind of surface.
Okay. That is
Okay.
that transform you had shown that similar
Yes,
concept.
but we won't even do it with transform. We'll do it right from the beginning. Like I want to just show you something else. Okay. Now let's say now here, let's just create how large was this? By the way, this was about, let me just create that surface first. This was based on these points. Or we can use these points itself and do it. Let's create. Now we want to randomize these. So how many points do we have totally? So we have 143 points. Okay, we have 143 points. We actually have 143 points. Okay. So I'll create. So what should be the range of our elevation? Height that we had maximum was 2. So I'll say from 0 to 2. Number 143. I'm creating a list of 143 points or list count. Something's not right or I'm doing right. Okay, I know what's wrong. Okay, so this is the surface. Let's say we've created out of randomizing those points. Now, Rupesh's question was, can we apply those pyramids to something like this? One easy way to do that would be by just putting that in there, those points there. And let's see what we got. We got a miss. But why have we got this miss?
Because I think the coordinate points are also rotating.
No, the mess is because we've got the normal we had taken, and the normal is all like this only.
Oh,
Okay, because the normal at each of those points, so we reduce the height of that rectangle to something like of the pyramid 0.2 or something. No, there's some other issue, I think.
Sir, I think the top points.
The top points are messing it up. I think the trim is the problem.
Top points, they are snapping it like randomly. I think that's why.
No, I think the trim is the problem. Nothing will happen randomly. Basically, it's all happening correctly, but it's just that something is wrong with the dimensions. Look, these are all okay.
Yeah, that one.
Some points are not coming out.
That side, the top
Is
point.
is the points what we shuffled, right?
Hmm?
Is because of that even the whatever the pyramid square has to take it, right?
But
Even it
yes.
is taking some random points.
No, it can't take random points. It will still take it by the grid.
Is the list distorted because of flattening it?
Because of?
We flattened it, right?
We didn't flatten the list.
So look at the phase that it is starting on one point and the top point is coming towards the end. Like,
Yeah, so that's something wrong with the
yeah, I
first
think
point.
the top point also got shuffled, right?
yeah, I think that's why.
What top point got shuffled? We got everything is. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, no, nothing. We basically started with this grid. So what's the problem? 0 to 16. Here, what was the issue? First list 0 to 18. Okay. I think I messed up somewhere. You got 13 points in this list. How many points have I got in this list? 11 points. Okay. So where have I gone wrong? C into 2 plus 1 is plus. The top I've got wrong here, basically. So I should have 13 points in each list. So 6 into 2 plus 1. Now done.
What we did, I didn't understand, sir.
Basically, what I had done was I didn't top the list properly here. I mean, I needed to have 13 points in each list.
Okay.
So this plus 1 I missed out here.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so basically now the same pyramid, whatever you had, probably works on this undulated surface too. Okay, so, okay, but I want to introduce another concept while doing this. Now let's assume we don't have access to these points. And we want to apply this to this surface. And this surface is some surface created elsewhere. I've already shown you all how to do it, right? I mean, pointed parameter and transform and things like that. No? The beginning of the class I showed you. You guys have forgotten already.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the transform basically. So basically all you'll need to do now, say now if you want to improve this, if you want to make this density a little better, we increase the number of pyramids, right? So this pyramid count, pyramid length will reduce to 1, and this will make it like 15. Yes, sir. Huh? Okay, fine. So you're out, is it? Okay, fine. I'll put up the recording later. Yeah. Okay. Anything you want me to address right now? Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, Jacob's out because there's no power in his place. There's one thing that I'll show and I'll wrap up today's session. Somehow I don't like the flow that I'm going with. I'm just messing it up. Okay. But you can do something like this and you get a random kind of peaks. I will just detail one little thing and then we'll wrap up. Okay. The same thing about randomizing and distorting this grid. I will close this. I'll go to new. I will create a point grid. Say 0.10.2. Okay, now what I wanted to was asking you when I said distort this thing. Now let's say I want to kind of move these points slightly based on some other point. Now I'll just create one point now. Let's say I've got one other point which is right now at the center somewhere, at the origin. Now what you can do in Dynamo is if you go here, you can click on that point and move that point around. Oops, I didn't want to move that point. So basically, only this point I wanted to move. You can move it around. Now what? And we'll also move in the Z direction if you want. Now what I want to do is I want all these points to kind of move or shift relative to the distance to their distance from this point. Okay. Like
So are
this
you
is
trying to create an attractor point kind of?
exactly. I'm trying to create an attractor. Okay. So how will you create that attractor? So what we'll do is we will now let's try to create circles. I'm going to create a circle at each of these points. Now, based on the position of this point, don't use that too much, Shannon. Don't try to shift it like this. It's not a good idea. Based on the distance of the points from these, let's vary the radius of the circle. Okay, right now the radius is by default 1. Okay. Now let's get the distance of each of these points from this point. So you can do that by saying distance. So you got this node that says distance, point to other point. Now we've got a list of distances. Okay. Now what do we want to do? We want, now we can't just have, if you just, what we can do now is we can plug this in here and we get some kind of a random pattern, which is not going to make much sense actually. Because what we can do there, you will see that this can change based on what you move. You'll get different patterns, but it's not going to make too much sense. Okay. What we'll do now is we'll try to, why is that? Because the circles are a little too large. I mean, you've got a maximum value that's maybe some 17 or something there. But let's say we want to limit the maximum value to the spacing, which is maybe 2. Okay, because 2 is the spacing between the grids, right?
So can we divide it?
We won't divide it. We'll use something called, because we want the relative distances to be the same. Yes, we can divide it. You can, if you want to use the divide option, what do we do first? First, we'll have to get the maximum value, right?
Yeah.
So first you get the maximum item. But if I say maximum item just like that, I'm not going to get it. Okay, if I say maximum item like this, then I will get the maximum item in each of these lists. But that's not what I want. I just want the maximum item in everything. So I'll flatten the list. Because the list structure doesn't matter to me. I just want to know what's the maximum item. So then I know that this is the maximum item. And then you can probably divide. So you say x divided by y. So if we divide, we get a list of items like this. Okay, so now this one, if we feed into this, now we get a cleaner thing, which is something like this. Okay, which probably makes a lot more sense. So now if we go around trying to fiddle with this one's position, that this point's position, you will see that the distance, I mean, basically, oops, what's happening? So basically, the dimension of the circle varies based on where this point is. Okay.
Yes, sir.
This made sense.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, we understood.
Okay. Fine. I think I'll wrap up for today and give me an idea as to what I should do for tomorrow. Shall we continue with Rupesh's project? I want to just finish that.
Yes, sir.
So we'll.
We can do.
So can you all, do you all realize that you all have kind of actually got all the concepts for Rupesh's project?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sort of. But we have to work on it.
So do you think, Rupesh, do you think you can come up with your thing based on what we've done so far? Can you use the pyramid concept on your entire facade?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I can.
So basically, what is it that you all need to do? Can you just briefly just tell me, because I want you to try it out. What do you think you'll need to do?
The grid of points, and then Rupesh, can you show your image again? I kind of forgot what it is.
It's on WhatsApp.
Okay, I'll only see.
Okay, so let's say we've got Mr. What is Why is it so bad? Okay, to start off, what will you do? To create a pyramid, what you'll first created groupings of 4 points each, right? So to kind of if we wanted to work on Rupesh's grid, let's say we'll take 4 points by 4 points as one grid to start with. Or maybe I'm just going to look at these 4 points as one length because I want to create a curve that's something like this. And then maybe we need one more if you want, and one more. So this is probably one of the curves. So you'll probably take maybe 6 points in at least the x direction and plot 6 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, so that you get that kind of a curve.
But we can directly create a nerve curve, right, from 3 points.
No, why I'm saying this, Rupesh, is I want to see if the next curve is not like, if I look at this from this side, I want you to be able to distort this next curve that comes. I want you to be able to change it. So if you're creating a module, like if you place an attractor somewhere to control these points, for example.
Yeah.
The profile of the curve
understood.
should change.
Understood.
Okay, so in order to do that, you'll probably have to create not just one module, you'll have to create it for the entire length. Okay, so like how you created pyramids at one shot, you'll have to change your logic to try to kind of create strips of waves on a facade. Okay, so tomorrow what y'all see if y'all can try. To start with, what we'll do is we'll see if we can create a number of waves. Okay, something like that, and not they are not going to be like equal.
So should it be like 3-3? How you have shown, like 3-3 intervals?
No, you can decide. Basically, all we need to do is we need to create waves.
Okay.
Okay, and the waves are not going to be similar.
Okay.
Done? There will be some kind of harmony because the crests and the troughs will probably come in more or less the same grid, but they will not be similar.
So, but in his waves were like mirrored and they were repetitive, right?
Yeah, that we'll see later. We'll get to that next. First, let's create just a set of waves, and then we'll figure out how to kind of. Was it mirrored and repetitive, Rupesh? One of his was mirrored and repetitive, but not all. But even if you have to do that, how will you do that? Also, let's figure out. But first, create one set of waves that are more or less parallel. The mirrored bit, I'll tell you what to do next.
Okay.
Right? We'll call it a day. I don't think I've had a very smooth session today. Really don't like the way today's session went. We'll try to ensure it's a little more structured tomorrow. Okay, but we'll start with these waves, and the other thing I want to do is, I mean, many of you all are actually sending me working on this and showing me stuff how we're doing it. I think I'll have to start giving you credit for it. So, in spite of me saying this is unofficial, I think I want to see if I can start having those assignments and things like that, so that you guys post it and it's there on record. Shall we do that?
Yes, sir.
Let's do that so that it's there. Things are on record, and I'll probably see if I can outline some assignments and things like that. I'll just put it up there, and you guys start posting your stuff there. Okay. I might not do it immediately, but I'm planning on doing that. Okay. Fine, and try to post all the stuff that you experiment with. Also, I don't see a problem with that. Also, and it doesn't have to be perfect.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay,
So
sir.
I'll see you all tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Okay,
And
sir.
we do this. We'll work on these waves, and whenever you guys have free time, please spend time reading those. I mean, on that, looking at the primer. the dynamo primer. Okay, fine. Okay, see ya. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you,
Bye.
sir.